Welcome back. As we know, MuleSoft provided integration tool called as MuleESB tool. When a integration tool called as a ESB tool, let's understand in this video. A integration tool called as ESB tool when it provides below features. That a tool should allow us to drag and drop the components to orchestrate the integrations. As we see as of now, right, we are dragging and dropping different connectors to make the integrations like database, JMS, FTP, SFTP and other connectors. So MuleSoft has provided components to orchestrate the integrations. This is something like building the bricks to construct a building. And the ESB tool should also provide a way to do the transformations, because as we know, the process of making data transfer between multiple applications is known as integrations. When we are sending our data to another target system, we don't know always the target system follows same data formats, right? Because if we have our format as JSON payload, whereas assume the target system was expecting payload as XML payload, then we need to transform this JSON payload to the XML payload, then send it to the target systems. So MuleSoft has provided a flexibility to do the transformations by using data view logic. These transformations we can do at component level, and also we can make use of transform message connector to do the transformations. As I said, the transformations can be done at component level and also by making use of transform message to do the transformations from one type to another type. If we take a look at any component, suppose a logger is a component, right? And here we see this transform message symbol. If I click on this, it is taking us through the some transform message kind of dashboard. Here we have to set inbound metadata, outbound metadata, so that we can drag and drop inbound metadata to the outbound metadata that will generate a piece of data view logic for us. Whereas each connector of MuleSoft has been having this transform message internally in each component. For suppose if I drag and drop any database operation, right? Suppose if I drag and drop this database insert, inside this insert also we have a flexibility to set the input payload as transformation. If I click on this FX and we go to this transform message activity, here itself we can see the inbound, outbound can be mapped and the data view logic can be generated. For suppose if I go for any JMS based connector as publish, and under this publish we see a flexibility to do the transformation, and we can make use of component level transform message to do the transformations. That means that the transform message activity itself is available in each component. Then when we do the transformations inside a component and when we use transform message activity, we will see that in coming sessions. For now, let me also show you about the transform message connector. So if I go to transform message, if I drag and drop this transform message activity, and here we see a similar type of dashboard, that inbound metadata, outbound metadata, then the particular data view logic can be generated here. So MuleSoft has provided the facility to do transformations inside a component and also by making use of transform message activity. That means that satisfies the ESB feature. And also when a integration tool can be called as a ESB, it should also provide a way for us to do the enrichments. What are enrichments? We never directly send the data as it is to the target systems. We will do a lot of enrichments while doing these transformations. For suppose, assume for our register COVID case payload, we are getting first name and last name separately, right? And assume while sending this to target system that is expecting as a full name, then we need to concatenate first name and last name, and we should send as a full name. The process of doing that concatenation is called as enrichments. MuleSoft has provided a lot of inbuilt data view functions, operators, selectors to do these enrichments. We will see those in coming session. So according to our case study, assume the user is sending a request to our MuleFlow, then our MuleFlow need to insert the payload into the UHO database. Then after that, it should also inform the payload to the WHO. Whereas assume the user is sending a JSON payload, and assume the WHO is expecting the payload as XML. So that we need to do this JSON to XML transformation while calling this WHO service. Assume WHO has provided us a REST service or SOAP service or any JMS based QR topic. So we should frame the XML payload, then we should send it to the target system. So to do these transformations, enrichments, we either can do in Mule components or in the transform message connector. Let's see how we can transform a JSON payload to the XML payload in next session. Thank you. Happy learning.